Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Sean Galati, and today I'll be talking to you about RPA success in the middle market. I'll be covering key automation trends and sharing some examples with you on how RSM has been able to demonstrate success implementing automation anywhere with some of our own clients. And before we begin, I would just like to say RSM is absolutely thrilled to be recognized as one of Automation Anywhere's Partners of the Year, leading and evangelizing the A360 Cloud platform. A little bit about my background. As mentioned, my name is Sean Galati. I'm an intelligent automation manager at RSM US LLP. I've been with the firm for 6 years, focusing on delivering automation offerings to our clients in a wide range of industries. And more importantly, have been working hand in hand with Automation Anywhere for the last 3 years. A quick introduction about our firm before we begin. RSM US LLP is a leading provider of audit, tax, and consulting services to the middle market. And typically, we consider the middle market to be any organization that falls within $50 million to $1 billion in revenue. Before we get into RPA, I want to touch on how our clients have been asking us about ways to become more digitally enabled. And to us, an organization that is digitally empowered has integrated technologies, an empowered workforce with technology supporting business processes, greater agility and productivity, and offerings not only a digital experience to their employees, but also their customers. We've probably seen an acceleration of this push to digital and becoming more nimble as the pandemic quickly reminded us that things can change instantly, and we need to be able to be ready to pivot and adjust as necessary. And a huge part of that move to digital empowerment has been through RPA, with objectives of scaling operations, achieving greater speeds, obtaining new insights, maintaining control, and finally, minimizing costs and maximizing value. And I'll demonstrate some of the successes that we've been able to achieve leveraging Automation Anywhere's platform. So from a mid-market automation perspective, we've been noticing a few trends. Typically, mid-sized organizations have a slightly longer adoption curve in terms of new technology. But when it comes to achieving some of the objectives as mentioned previously, such as controls, scalability, minimizing costs, etc., organizations are wanting to explore automation technologies such as RPA, but with a little bit of help. They want to have support and comfort from experienced professionals so they can ensure that they're on the path to success, picking the right use cases, establishing an appropriate deployment strategy, and having a strategic plan for automation in place. And as part of picking the right use cases, we've seen organizations willing to make an upfront effort in conducting proof of concepts and being thorough in their use case validations. By performing the use case validations, it has led to more focused and strategic implementations, making sure they zero in on a process or a functional area such as finance, HR, operations, and implementing it in order to demonstrate success to the rest of the organization. And this has been a successful strategy that we've been seeing, because once someone is able to visualize and see the value RPA is bringing to their business, to their organization, they are immediately starting to envision where else they can apply this technology next. We're also seeing most organizations going cloud first and attempting to limit the on-premise footprint that they have. The cloud solutions support faster time to value, greater business agility, and cuts down on total cost of ownership. And finally, with immense competition today and an ever-changing world, mid-market organizations are always looking to gain efficiencies and stay ahead of their competitors. As mentioned, use case identification has been the main ask from organizations, asking where do we begin? And to support use case identification, RSM has developed an automation opportunity scan tool that we offer to our clients. The tool itself is a web-based form that collects a variety of data points that helps us benchmark a use case for fit, value, and simplicity. We deploy a unique link to each organization and allow them to share with key process owners that have input on potential use cases for automation. The form can be filled in multiple times by each individual or process owner, and once we obtain the data, we're able to generate this dashboard as shown on the right, graphically depicting where we may have opportunity to leverage automation. It is a great tool, and many organizations that we've utilized this with found it as a great starting point for their automation journey. To supplement the data-driven approach, we'll identify the top few use cases and deep dive for further validation as necessary. As part of the automation journey, we've heard the words Center of Excellence thrown out, and the connotation being this large governance structure that requires lots of people and is meant for organizations with many bots at an enterprise scale. In the mid-market, typically, a Center of Excellence will be a centralized function where automation is controlled from a focal point, and the business units work with this automation function to help them automate where applicable. Now again, it doesn't have to be a large function. Instead, it is right-sized based on the organization, the number of people they have, how many bots they're looking to deploy. All of those come into consideration when looking to establish a Center of Excellence committee. On the right-hand side, we've laid out a sample COE structure that could work for a MID. There are 4 components of your Center of Excellence that need to be incorporated. 1 is your team, 2 is your processes, 3 is your tools and technology, and 4 is your overall governance strategy. Now for your team, you'll see that we've laid out a couple of different roles that are important and critical to supporting the automation journey and your Center of Excellence. The first being someone to provide technical and IT side support, an executive sponsor that will provide support for the program and also help make those key decisions. In addition, an architect and a lead developer role that will also be responsible for evaluating and building use cases. And as necessary, a third-party partner that can provide support for development as demand scales up and or down. You can see that we've listed out FTE allocations as indicators to what we typically think and see the commitment should be from the specified roles. Outside of the lead architect and developer, everyone else has been listed as under 1 FTE, given the amount of effort that we think it'll take to help support their roles. As for the second pillar of the COE, which are processes that manage the function, organizations will want to have a process in place that manages intake requests, prioritizes use cases, manages change across the organization, and provides adequate level of training for individuals that need it, whether that's onboarding new developers or whether that's training the organization on what the automation technology is, what RPA is, and how it works. In addition, from the technology pillar, the function should also be responsible for managing the infrastructure, providing platform-level support and administration, providing upgrades, and having proper alerts in place for any issues that may come up. And finally, the overall governance of the Center of Excellence will be responsible for ensuring the alignment to the business needs and goals and confirming that value is being gained with this initiative. All right, now to dive into a few use cases. The first use case that I'm going to talk about was of an insurance provider that had a process to build and submit a report on a monthly basis to their reporting body. Now this report took about 30 days to generate and was all Excel based. The report required manual manipulation of Excel data across 4 files that at least had 50,000 rows of data to obtain information from. Leveraging the A360 platform, we were able to build a bot that completed the report for them within 5 days, cutting down 25 days of reporting and building time and increasing the accuracy of the report. With the additional time, the process owner now only focuses on exceptions and has likely taken on additional responsibilities. And with this success, the client wanted to expand the use of A360 so that their entire IT team knew how to build bots so that they could leverage it for themselves across the organization. And those are the success stories that make me love working with RPA. We can show the value and get others excited as well. For my second use case, this is about a logistics company that would receive mass volumes of bid requests via email from its large network of clients. And due to the volume, they were unable to attend to many of those requests. With the help of A360, we were able to build a solution that would take these requests from their email, get the necessary information, and generate a quote before the request was closed. With the solution, they were able to increase the number of bids won per day by over 50%, which subsequently helped them achieve greater revenues. In addition to the greater revenues, we were also able to see an increase in the number of bids placed per day and saw an overall decrease in time to bid and also error rates due to manual data entry on large data sets. Thank you all for joining me today and allowing me to share some of our RPA successes in the middle market. I am Sean Galati from RSM, and I hope you all go be great.